came here looking for something I couldn't find anywhere else. I don't want to be nobody, just
Want a chance to be myself.
I've done 1,000 miles of thumbing. Yes, I've worn blisters on my heels. Trying to find me something better on the streets
The
of
Bakersfield. You don't know me, but you don't like me.
You say you care, that's how I feel. How many of you that sit and judge me ever walk the streets of
Bakersfield. All right. Just everyone else is doing it. And it's clogging up YouTube. Everyone's doing a video about the Jason Aldean song. Try that in a small town. I guess I'm gonna have to talk about that some. And maybe we could find some I don't know. I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just kind of giving some insight, I guess. I don't know. I have autism spectrum disorder, so sometimes, properly relating or communicating the way things relate to me could be a difficult task. But I'll try my best, I promise.
Spent some time in San Francisco. Spent a night there in the Ken. They threw this drunk man in my jail cell. I took $15
From that man.
I left him my watch and my old house key. I don't like folks thinking that I'd steal. Then I thanked him as he was sleeping, and I headed out for Bakersfield.
You don't know me, but you don't like me.
You say you care, that's how I feel. How many of you that sit and judge me ever walk the streets of Bakersfield? How many of you that
Now, here's the thing about that song. I've not actually really listened to it. It came up like on my phone. It came up as a just a random suggestion. And what I do is I leave it on mute so that it only plays the lyric. It types out the lyrics on the screen. Subtitles. And I guess for the hearing impaired. And I read some of the lyrics, and I, heard what some other people had said was in the song. Thing is I can't really relate to new country, or at least the more, today's country. Well, it depends. See, I like a lot of the really old country, like from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then there are a couple of exceptions to the rules in the late 80s. And then in the early 90s, country actually, when they updated it some, it got to be more popular. And I'm not going to lie, I did like a lot of the early 90s, country music. But getting into the mid 90s and towards the late 90s, I just completely lost interest in it. I've just never really cared for it. And part of the reason why is because I'm not saying it's their fault. A lot of people will talk shit about the more recent country music. Trust me, I have talked a lot of shit myself. And the thing is it's kind of like picking on that, that's too easy. It really is too easy. Um, and the thing is country has always been something that was like the average person, the working man, or just your, especially white people, but typically, your poorer class of white folk, or just depending on where you grew up culturally, has been able to identify with country music. Now, you see, I didn't appreciate this kind of stuff nearly as much as I do after I've spent a couple decades, having to be an adult, and going through a lot of the things that, they kind of talk about in these songs. Um, the thing is I'm not from a small town. It's like, try that in a small town. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of things you can't try in a small town, like having a different opinion. Here's the thing. Down there, yeah, all the small towns, you probably don't want to voice your opinion if it differs greatly from theirs. They're not going to say, well, I respectfully disagree. They're going to say it's fighting words. And the thing is I live in what would be to me, is relatively a small town, because Burlington ain't but like, what, about 50,000 people or less. I mean, if you combine all the surrounding areas, it's spread out real bad. But in this county, there's probably about 150, 175,000 people. It's like, I would say, you know what? It's kind of like, imagine if Athens was more spread out, like Athens, Georgia. As a matter of fact, when I saw the video and I'm like looking at that county, courthouse or city hall or whatever, I'm like, is that Athens, Clark County City Hall? I thought it was bigger. Because here's the thing. He's from Georgia. Now, I heard it was in Tennessee, and apparently there's some history about that courthouse that kind of doesn't help, with, people's perception of it. That could have been a random mistake, or it could have been, I don't know. I did not have enough info, and you know what? There have been times where I, have been accused of, doing something for some sort of symbolic reason that was completely different than what I intended. So I can understand if we want to give him, a chance to explain. I don't know. It may have just been that was the only place they could get that was willing to let them use it as a backdrop. I don't know. I don't know the man. I know he's very popular, especially in Georgia. He sold out Sanford Stadium. Sanford Stadium's like 93,000 people. He sold that fucker out for some concert. Not long before I left, it was like in 2013. So I was thinking, he seems to have and plus I want to say he's a big Georgia Bulldog fan. So I was kind of thinking maybe because the City Hall in Athens is beautiful. It really is. A beautiful building. Thing was, I was so curious. I went and looked up Athens City Hall like on Google Earth, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, wait, where's that video? I look at it, I was like, wait a minute. No, that's not it, because it only had 3 windows on each side of the center section where the stairs go up. And I was like, City Hall in Athens, it did seem that bright white. It's more like it really is. It's really a much nicer City Hall than that one. That one looked more quaint. I mean, it's a lovely building. The thing is with all the imagery, it's like those are problems that we do have going on in places, and yeah, a lot of those things you probably don't want, not in a southern small town, like, just to show that, I'm not trying to steal from him. I'm just kind of like, he got me thinking about it, but, Trey Crowder made a, point about, yeah, there's a lot of things you don't want to try, like don't be gay in a small town, don't be trans in a small. Don't be a Democrat. You're a liberal in a small town, like he's like, fuck, man, what kind of small town is he talking about? He's from Macon, Macon, Georgia. It's like, have you ever heard of Macon, Georgia? Everybody goes, yeah. And he's like, well, he's all the way on the West Coast now. So if they know what Macon, Georgia is, good. Yeah, if you know where the fuck that is, it's not a small town, It's like, yeah, So that's the thing is, it's kind of like I'm kind of scared, you know, to maybe come off the wrong way in small town. Hell, I'm scared to come off the wrong way here, boy. I tell you what, I've got more pushback here than I have anywhere else. Oh yeah, they fucking hate me here. God almighty. And you can't say, hey, I'm autistic. Yeah, I'm going to annoy you. And I'm going to, whether I intended to or not, does not matter. It's guaranteed that I'm going to say something that you're going to take the wrong way, or you're going to think I imply it differently than I really do. You know? And that's always going to be, you know, a problem. Now, the thing is
More shopping? You should watch your spending, honey. I'm saving with Liberty Mutual, Mom. They customize your car.
oh, come on. My YouTube app, my TV keeps acting up. I don't know why. Let's try a different one. Let's do good old Waylon Jennings. Oh, I love Waylon Jennings too. Here's a good one. About good old Hank Sr. God damn it. Really? Yeah, my fucking shit keeps acting up. I've reset the app several times. I've uninstalled it, reinstalled it. I factory reset the TV. It just will not fucking act right. Here's the thing, some of them play just fine, some of them won't play for shit. It's like the same problem. It keeps fucking, it'll pause. Yeah, it keeps saying I've only got 173 kilobytes. And it's not even a video, it's just the song with a picture. But yeah, it won't do shit. God almighty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart it. It won't play shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking. That's the thing is like sometimes what I do is I just keep going back and keep reloading, like exit back, reload, and after about 4 or 5 times of doing that, it'll play it just fine. You know, and the connectivity speed will improve, and the network activity will improve. I mean, everything will kind of correct itself. But like, yeah, I gotta do it like 8 or 9 times before it'll fucking work. Now this is Lonesome Ornery and Me. Let's see if this will work. You know how badly I want to say, who did this? Who did this? But knowing my luck, it's probably my own fucking fault. God damn it. I always love that Telecaster he's got. Now on bus. Going to Shreveport. Down the old way. I forgot what city it was. Things my way. Me lonesome. Andre and me. Great fucking song. I love that funky country. It's like that funky country shuffle and the drum. Boom, 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 Andre and me. Thing is about country music is fucking hard to play, especially shit like this. Oh god, it's got a Telecaster guy. He's got an old fucking he's got an old Bandit, Kill Strike Bandit. Sounds great. He's got a shitload of Telecasters. I think he's in Tennessee. Super nice guy. The thing is, it's like this. It's like people who are from small, even in the South where they're predominantly conservative. I've had a lot of small town people who I would never, politically or ideologically agree with them on very many things. And yet they've been very nice to me. Very kind. They've been very, empathetic. Even here's the thing, and this is back before, I knew what the fuck was wrong with me. I mean, there's obviously something off or something different or odd or eccentric or unique. And the thing is down there, most people usually thought that it was kind of endearing and charming in a way. So even though I'm foul mouth and, reactive to certain things, I usually do it in a funny way that people usually can relate to. They just kind of see me as being genuine. And I think that's what I liked about country music is its genuineness. Like he said here, I've been lonesome, Andre and me. Now he's not sending out no, there's no, dog whistles in there. He's just letting you know, hey, I'm a hard son of a bitch who's been through a lot. I've been on the road for a long time. I'm getting lonesome, ornery and mean. But at least he could be genuine and he could be honest with himself, He ain't blaming necessarily nobody else. And maybe he's blaming the lifestyle he chooses to live. But at least he's being himself. I can never play it fucking. He's not just sitting there playing the strumming the cowboy chords too. He plays a lot of the licks himself. He's not one of those people who just pretends like he can play guitar. He can play guitar. The thing is, as I'm looking at this, I see all these things. I'm kind of like, yeah, those are problems that are going on in this world, and they're getting out of hand. Here's the thing: living here in Burlington, Vermont, a couple months back when I went to the CVS, and I'm walking like in the way it's set up. And I talked to a security guard there. He's a real nice guy. That's the thing is most people who've ever been homeless or are now homeless, they would have just been really reactive. And even though I'm someone who comes off as reactive, even if I don't intend to be, people misconstrue it. Like I come in there and they say they're all locked up, and I'd be like, "Oh, fucking great! The shit I need, I can't get, whatever, blah blah." And the thing was, I went to go pull on the thing, and it was like it wouldn't open. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I looked to our right, I see a security guard. I'm like, "Oh, hey man, yeah, I mean." He's like, do you need anything? I said, well, I don't know. I really don't know yet. I was going to take a look, but I was like, hold on, I'll just take a look from here. I was like, I don't want him to go out of his way, because I don't shoplift. That's something I don't do. You know, I've known a few people who've had that problem. God Almighty, I feel bad for them. I don't know why you. I mean, if you got money in your pocket, and that's the thing is, a lot of people will defend them, going they're stealing food. Well, they do get a lot of food stamps, but they're stealing food. But that's the thing is some of them are stealing like the expensive ice creams in there and then going around the block and selling them for $2 or $3 a pop. But yeah, they keep blocks on them. And the thing is the guy was real helpful, he was real nice, and we were talking about that. I was like, holy shit, is it really that bad? He's like, yeah. And I said, man, if this would have been like San Diego or LA or Portland or San Francisco area or Sacramento or Seattle area or just any of those bays up in that area, any of those major metropolitan cities, like there's Tacoma and Tacoma's. I keep forgetting which one is this all the way on the other side of the state. But then there's one that's at the bottom of Puget Sound. I want to say Tacoma's down. Yeah, Tacoma's down at the bottom of Puget Sound. But it's kind of the extended. It's its own metro area, but it's kind of like the extended part. Because then you got Tacoma, British Columbia. What isn't that? What's this? Fuck, my memory was shit now. It's like I know what I'm thinking of. I just can't think of it. I've had problems with that for years. When I don't have my ADD medication, it tends to get worse. I ain't had it in like 6 months, so. See, I can relate to that. I can't relate to the. That's the thing is to me, it's like modern country music. Just seems like it's. Yeah, I'm paranoid. Seems like modern country music is kind of engineered. It kind of always has been. It panders to their audience, kind of what they want to be reassured of or reaffirmed about, At least that's what I see it as. And that's why I say it's like, 20 years ago, I would have said a lot of it just sounds to me like it's just trailer park pop music, It's just pop music for poor white people. But the thing is not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't want. That's the thing. I don't want to diss it because that's what they're tired of. They're tired of people picking on them, making fun of them. I mean, just because they deserve it don't mean we should. Say that's a joke. It's okay. You can laugh at my expense if you want to. Henri and me. See, I can relate to that. I get tired of being lonesome and that making me ornery, and then I get mean about it. Yeah, I don't like getting that way. But living the life I have to live in recent years, it's been rough. Yeah, I got some traumatic shit. I still have problems, moving on from or getting over. No, and so far no one's really been helpful for that. Like, if you want to talk, it's like no. I don't want my perception of things changed. Yeah, I'll test people don't like that. I will say that I was kind of shocked when I go into the.
Your overly competitive brother.
When I went into the local CVS and all the shit's locked, even in Burlington, Vermont, we have one of the lowest crime rates in the country. Thankfully, the violent crime rate's really low. I've lived places where they did not have a low violent crime rate, Let's try it again. See how far it'll go. It may just be I bought a piece of shit TV. It's just weird because some videos will just load automatically and it'll just play. Some of them won't. And that little hamster wheel just gets to going, you know? You know, that little the loading thing, the buffering. They'll just sit there. Check Stephanie. Sure shit. And I don't need no more schooling. Honey, just walk the line. Living on Tulsa time. Living on Tulsa time. I know I've been through it when I set my watch back to it. Living on Tulsa time. I'm not a Republican, this is cups are. Well, I mean, that's just what. They're just the Walmart brand solo cups. I don't think I had them in any other colors. Yeah, I'm not picking it. Yeah. Thinking I was doing good. The telephone line. Man, I'm really sinking. Really had a blast this time. See, that was great country music. I can relate to that. It's like living on toast. He's talking about going out west, trying to get big, trying to get famous or rich. Because I guess I don't know. It seems like Nashville would be closer than L.A. But some people did go through L.A. But I think a lot of it is also the fact that a lot of people became anti-Nashville. Like Willie Nelson. I think Willie and Waylon, they both, like all that renegade Texas country music from like the 70s, yeah, they were all, they abandoned Nashville because Nashville wanted to control their sound. And they wanted them all to do the same, engineered stuff that we're kind of getting back into. But, yeah, so I don't know what to say about it because I don't relate to it. I've never lived in a small town. Imagine being someone who's from a small town or have family from a small town and they see the fucking news going on in places like Los Angeles, and San Francisco. And these are major cities. These are the two probably key major cities on the West Coast. And it just looks like panic and chaos. And a lot of times it is. Now I've never been to Skid Row. Now I one time got off at the Union train station in L.A., which is right up the street from Skid Row. Because Skid Row ain't just a street; it's an area. It's a town. It's like a unofficial. But they've kind of decided that this certain pre-designated area that's Skid Row, and they say that if they can tell you're from Skid Row and you wander out of there, the cops will force you back in there. It's like to keep it contained, and that they're trying their best but there are little factions all over Southern California. Even San Francisco. San Francisco, LA are the worst. San Diego's got a real bad problem too. That's where I actually showed up with a backpack, about $150 in cash, and that was it. And within a few weeks, I was able to get into an actual transitional housing program, a real one, sponsored by San Diego County, and at a VOA, a Volunteers of America, Lumen Center. It was actually a good experience for me. I kind of miss those people. I miss a lot of people there. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like I got a lot more depressed when I left. When I got my own apartment because then I was isolated. I never had any money to do anything. I'd already made there were a bunch of fucking nut jobs. So yeah, of course I fit in great over there. It's kind of like shit. I wish I could go back in time. And yeah, if I could, when I got my own apartment, I would have probably just got one. Anyone I could find. I'd actually looked for some close by. I never could find one. And I realized that if they find out that you've ever been homeless, a lot of times they won't rent to you. And when you find the ones that will rent to you, you'll realize, oh, that complex is actually quite dangerous. So it's kind of like, yeah, you got to tiptoe around shit pretty, carefully around there. But yeah, I would have been a lot happier if I just been down the street and I could have just come back up there and either volunteer or hang out or whatever. I'd like to have another situation like that again, but I don't know. We'll see. The thing is in the late '90s to the early, it became more of a country music's always kind of had that issue in some ways. There's some slight bit of pandering to like the lifestyle or the cultural aspects of being poor white people from the South. I mean, it's not all just poor white people in the South, but that was the original customer base, And now it just seems like it's awfully on the nose. It's like you get that in a small town. It's like, yeah, no shit. I ain't from there, but I've been through some of them. Yeah, just if your car just looks like, like is it like my Jimmy. My GMC Jimmy, my S15 GMC Jimmy 4-door, it was one of those early 90s 4-door, the boxy ones, It was all stock, I mean, it was a nice one. I had the mag rims. I had the tinted windows. Never fucked with me. It had the stock wheels on. I didn't put no aftermarket. It's just nice stock mag wheels, and I had the raised white letter BFG radial TAs. I could cruise all over the South because I used to, when I used to work with my uncle, I have to drive through these little fucking towns all over the place where you didn't even know they existed until you went through it. But holy shit, is this on the map? What the fuck? I don't know. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, it's one of those towns that's like just a little black circle. A little name next to it. It's got, okay, there's a town here. That was back when we used to use actual maps, So you were never sure. Like sometimes you're like, I don't know if that town's even on the map, man. I don't know why it wouldn't be. But nobody would mess with me. When I bought my Eagle Talon, which is a sharp little, 2-door sport coupe, it was a turbo, all-wheel drive. It was a little monster. They called it like the baby Mitsubishi 3000 GT. That was the baby version of it. 3000 GT was a twin turbo V6 all-wheel drive. Mine was a smaller version of that. Although I liked the Talon better than, or the Mitsubishi Eclipse, no, Dodge later didn't make an all-wheel drive version. Mitsubishi had the GSX, and then Eagle, which was a subdivision of Jeep, the only car they made for quite a few years was just the Eagle Talon. And it was essentially just their version of the Eclipse GSX. Same fucking car. Although I thought the Eagle was a little better looking, in my opinion. Well, except for the second generation. Second generation, actually, then the Mitsubishi Eclipse was nicer looking. They're almost identical. The Eagle had better looking rims on the first gen, and in the second gen, the Mitsubishi had better looking rims. And then the Eagle had a funky looking tail. It's almost like they made it ugly on purpose so that the Mitsubishi would be more popular. Because they were just like, yeah, we're going to phase out Eagle because that's the only model we make anymore. Eagle was really just a brand that Dodge bought. Well, when Chrysler bought AMC Jeep, Eagle was part of that deal. And then they phased out all the regular cars, and the only thing they kept was that little Talon. And that was really the best one of the group. The first generation it was. But I get that car. Yeah, I get noticed in that. I got to where I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to no little bitty places. Like, in the middle of nowhere, I'd be like, hey, okay, I'm taking your car. Yeah, they don't like my car. My car looks like it's fast. I mean, it is fast. It was. I mean, not fast enough, to outrun a state police or anything. Yeah, that's stupid. I seen a lot of videos about that. God almighty, people are getting crazy. But that's the thing. It's not so much that, there'll be a misunderstanding and they'll think I'm being disrespectful to them and they ain't gonna take it well. You know why? Because I do that here too. They do it to me here all the time. They do it to me here worse than they do there. That's the thing down there. they know that they know something about me they don't like, right? But they can't put their finger on. Here, I just my mouth and I already have an excuse not to like me. I have a southern accent. This is one of the most progressive political cities in America. All I gotta do is just what I talk, and then they start thinking about Jason Aldean. And it's like, God damn it. Yeah, I that was the good country music, in my opinion. Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time. I'll set my watch back to it, 'cause you know I've been through it. Living on Tulsa time. But yeah, I was kind of shocked when I went into the CVS, and they got the doors, they got the food doors locked for refrigerator, freezer, shit. And I was like, fuck. Things I didn't like going in CVS. You know, if I do prefer to go in Walgreens, but I don't like having to shop out of pharmacies. You know, and I get to where, and now that I won't even go in fucking City Market. They're so. I don't know. They've already made their mind about me a long time ago. Apparently, it's small enough town they can recognize me, because it just seems like something always goes wrong when I go in there. So it's like I don't go in there. I kind of feel like they're sending me a message. I ain't welcome there. You know, and they're you know they're aloof Yankee way. Now, this is an old school artist, but I'm gonna have to fucking reset the fucking thing again. Wait a minute, what was that? Oh, I forgot about this.
TV has two ways.
Here's the thing. It'll play the ads. It rarely gets caught on them ads. When you play the video, it's like, yeah, it don't play it. Oh, motherfucker, it still won't play it. Let's see if it'll do it now. Neighborhood, Charlie Johnson, and she's already looking good. That's such a weird say voice. On the phone, and this was going on. Heating up chocolate pie, cooking chicken up to fry. Just a swinging, just a swinging, swinging. If I could play it. Gotta be in that offset. I think it's a 12 bar. Not sure. It sounds like it's a 12 bar in it. I could be wrong. Some guy came on my thing last week, like saying I said fuck way too many times. It's kind of like, yeah, that's part of the appeal for some people. It may not be to your liking. But he was upset because I was in the wrong key. Now, I knew how to play the song. I just didn't realize or forgot that it was played in a E flat tuning instead of E. And that's the thing is you can to play that song like the way it's played. You can only play it one way. So if you're going to play it, because you can't extend it out any further, because you got to play it in E major, rip in E major, and it goes from B to E to A, bar chord majors. So it's kind of like, I grabbed the one that was have a step down. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it is. I guess I forgot. I hadn't played it in years. He was like, it's the worst review I reviewed, and it combined with all the use of the F word. And I was like, I don't mind you, man. Usually I'm the dick. What's the deal with that?
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
Don't take my job.
Like hitting the waves.
Now, if I went onto your channel, I ain't working for you no more. The woman done left and took all the raisins I was working for. 70s was great for country. And well, Hank Williams Jr. was pretty good, but that was kind of the beginning of the pandering to a certain, socioeconomic, cultural status, with like, I got rights too. What was it? Ain't gonna be no court system protect you. I got rights. That's, I think, where it kind of started with shit like that. Or a country boy can survive. A $43. It's talking about he had a friend from New York. Never called me Hank, just Hillbilly. And he'd send him pictures of the opera lights, and he'd send him pictures of homemade wine or something. And for $43, some mugger, stabbed him and killed him and took his money. And I was like, a country boy can survive. That was kind of the beginning of that. I guess they're good songs. I'm not saying that culturally speaking that, it's appropriate for everyone or that it sends a good message, It's kind of like one of the things you listen to when you're drunk and you're pissed off, especially if you're, especially Southern. His daddy has some great shit. I mean, Hank Williams Sr. had a lot of good songs. But yeah, a lot of them were kind of pandering to, an angry middle to lower middle class Southern working, or working class white Southerners. That was what his base was. So he wrote songs that they would relate to. I'm not saying what way they felt about it was appropriate. That was just how they felt. And that's why he wrote songs, That's what sold. It's business. No matter how much, if you want to do it just for the art, you'll probably be poor. There was a great one from the 80s from someone who has really, really inappropriate songs. A lot worse than that Jason Aldean song. He's got a lot of songs that I ain't gonna even talk about. I sold a guitar when I had my guitar shop in Athens. I sold a guitar to his touring guitar player at that time. It was a like an off-white, cream white, 62 Stratocaster reissue.
When a stranger stopped beside me,
And I think it was about $1,100 back then. It was
dressed like 1950, half drawn.
it's been like 23 years ago. Long walk to Nashville, would you like a ride, son? This is probably his best song.
Sat down in the front seat,
Turn on the radio.
and them sad old songs coming out of them speakers.
Yeah, that's the thing. These days, country is just, it kind of panders to the plight of the poor white Southern Americans. I'm not saying they're all white, you know, but that's the majority of it. And I don't know, maybe comparing that new Jay Saldane song to this, might be kind of like comparing this to like Did I do the space? Damn it. Damn it. I do the twice. This would have been a lot quicker if I hadn't had to fucking reset everything and it lost all my memory. Play. God damn it, I spoke too fucking soon. Shit. I don't know. It's either completely my fault because I'm not technically advanced enough to figure out how to fix whatever. I didn't do anything differently that I know of. Or I pissed off some really talented criminal nerd somewhere. He fucked with my shit. Who knows? Oh well. It won't be the first time. I kind of see it's the cost of doing business. My running shoes. But this right here is Howlin' Wolf. He's from Mississippi. And the bottom. Bring my running shoes. Now, what if you compare this to the modern music of the plight of, the poor African American, American or person? I can't say man, not anymore. Unless I want to piss somebody off. Probably on my TV's fucked. I mean, it might not be. I always have to reserve the benefit of the doubt that it might be my own fuck up. Probably is. But, I'm objective. I gotta keep every option open. Time to lose. See, one on my phone works fine. They're the same fucking Wi-Fi network. Works just fine. Just the fucking TV that does that. I can't say it's the Wi-Fi that's doing it. Although that one's hardwired. It's Ethernet cable. I've reset that thing too. A bunch of times. Oh, trust me, I got over it already. I cursed that thing out for like 4 or 5 hours. See, I think this is part of what he's talking about. Oh, don't make me late. Apparently, he did that in a small town. He tried that. He tried something in a small town you ain't supposed to do. Oh, don't make me late. My life is at stake. I think, you know, he got friendly with somebody, you know, who, you know, some lady that, you know, was already accounted for, and that's why he's jumping out the window. And the reason why he's saying, meet me in the bottoms, bring my running shoes, is because he's going to have to leave town. He ain't necessarily breaking the laws. I don't know, back then, adultery might have been a prosecutable offense. I'm not sure. Depends on where, what, I mean, they still had debtor slavery up to, like, I think the 30s or 40s or something. 40s or 50s? I can't remember, something like that. B.B. King talks about it. Meet me in the bottom. I love old music. See, the thing was, that's why I kind of came here. Was I kind of thought, you know, try that in a small town. Well, small towns typically have much lower, you know, violent crime rate at least. I don't know about, you know, OxyContin and fentanyl. That seems to show no racial or socioeconomic boundary there. Yeah, there's a problem with that in LA and San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Sacramento, and fucking slap out Arkansas. Yeah, they got that problem there too. Yeah, it's like whether it's happening at old Skid Row or happening in some fucking rundown trailer in the middle of fucking nowhere, Arkansas or Tennessee or Mississippi, you know, Alabama, wherever. You know, that's why I say it's like that problem goes on everywhere. It really is a shame. I mean, I guess in the smaller towns, they're a little less, you know, they're a little less brave to do something too terribly brazen because everybody in a small town knows everybody. It ain't like there where you can just run in places and commit crime and walk out of there and not worry about shit because, well, now they got that new bail system. Yeah, even 50 Cent said, "Holy shit, that's good." Yeah, that's gonna make crime worse. I don't know what to say to do other than first thing you ought to do is give people housing, and then try to, you know, that's the thing is trying to force their hand to go to therapy or trying to force their hand to get, you know, drug treatment, you know, and force their hand, you know, to educate themselves, not be so stupid. Yeah, people are resistant to that, especially when, you know, they've lived that kind of life, you know. But I think if you don't make it required and you just try to have a positive, you know, way about it, eventually you'll probably get a lot of people, you know, get a lot better. I think once people get housing, they really ought to, you know, try to work on, you know, their drug issues. But I'm not saying they're going to stop just because you gave them housing. I'm not saying that they're not going to still go out and shoplift, or carjack or whatever they do. That's the thing that's why I'm glad I don't have them kind of problems. I think being autistic helped me out a lot with that. Plus, I have a rare disease where I can't take opiates, thank God. I mean, the only time I ever take them is if I have surgery, and even then I hate taking them. Oh God, they make me sick as shit. It takes me forever to fucking get over. It's like, that's one of the worst things for MCAS. That's why it's like I don't drink anymore either. I figured that out. That's the reason why it's like, why is it? I mean, I know when you get older, drinking, make you, it can be painful. I never drank a lot. I mean, like every day. I'm not saying I never drank a lot. I just usually drank a lot, sporadically, like, when it was, a social thing or whatever. But yeah, over the years, I realized, like, God almighty, I really don't like drinking alcohol anymore. Even, whatever buzz you get from it's just not even enjoyable. And I'm not one of those people that wants to, like, I've seen my father drink himself to death. So, I don't, I mean, he could handle it, I can't. It makes me very sick. It just gets worse and worse with age. That's why it's like, I don't know. I think the last time I drank anything has been since I was in California. People are like, yeah, you just had one beer. I was like, what's the point? One beer is not going to give me a buzz. Even if I did get a buzz, I'm probably not going to enjoy it. It's just going to make me nauseous. And secondly, I'm going to feel like shit for a day and a half just from drinking a beer or two. There's really no point in it. Actually, liquor is a lot easier on me than beer is because of fermentation. Yeah, fermentation fucks people who got mastoid activation syndrome or mastocytosis. That's kind of are interchangeable in a lot of ways. And that's the thing is I know what he's talking about. I think saying, yeah, try that in a small town, that's kind of on the nose, a little too much. Like, yeah, I know that. I'm not from a small town. Even I know. Here's the thing. I thought I could have a different opinion or at least have, a slight variance of the same basic ideology as these people up here do. It still pisses them off to the point where they want to retaliate against me and gang up on me. It's like, hello, I'm an autistic guy. Yeah, here's the thing, you shouldn't do that to people who aren't autistic. Do that to an autistic person, that's especially cruel. God almighty. What have all I've been through in this world? It's like, it's like, hey, let me speak my piece, okay? If you disagree with it, then just disagree with it. I disagreed sometimes with some things you say. That's the thing, I've always leaned to the left. But I've never really wavered. I've never really leaned any further left or come farther closer to the middle, or I'm just kind of like, no, I'm like, no. That's like, it's like, oh, wait a minute, which way is it going to be on camera? The other way, left, right. I try not to be just totally in the middle, just because that's just a cop out. I try to lean more to the left, but I'm not leaning all. I'm not going Bolshevik. Yeah, I'm not doing that. The thing is one of the reasons why people from small towns, especially southern small towns or Midwestern small towns, that's the thing is, it gets me, is Vermont's a farming state. You would think they would kind of, relate to some of the plight, but I guess they don't here. I don't know. I don't know how to relate to it. I'm not from a small town. I've never lived on a farm, worked on a farm. I visited a farm once or twice, maybe when I was in elementary school, to see a cow take a shit, and probably saw someone, wring a chicken neck, or something as part of some field trip. And I've installed a couple satellite dishes at chicken farms in North Georgia when I used to do that. But yeah, I don't know how to. Yeah, that's way too much work for me. Yeah, I'm not man enough for that shit. It's like, you're afraid of hard work. It's like, yeah, you're damn right I am. That kind of hard work, that's really hard work. Out there in that fucking sweaty hot sun all fucking day long, 6-7 days a week, bent over, God almighty, sounds like a nightmare. Especially for me, having MCAS. God almighty, that would be a nightmare. That's why I can't work anymore. They gotta leave town. Yeah. He's got momentary, protection in the bottoms. Bottoms is really nothing more than just, in a small town, that's where black folks live. Back in the old days, they call it the bottoms, and they may call it the ghetto in Chicago or New York or the projects or something, but yeah, in the South, it's called the bottoms. Meet me in the bottoms, bring my running shoes. Which I guess, I don't know if he specifically means bring him shoes, although he probably left his shoes behind. It might be what he's talking about, because they took his shoes off. There's a lot of little details in there that kind of lead you to, assume certain things. But I don't exactly know. Just like with Jason Aldean, he may not have meant it as bad as he did. And the thing is, it seems like to me there's a lot of black people on YouTube that are reviewing it, and they're like, they seem to kind of like it, because they're dumb. Some of them are tired of seeing, the chaos and, insanity and people who have just become drug addicted and criminally minded over the years. It's kind of like, we seem to be getting worse in that regard. I think this drug and psychological treatment first, before you house them, it doesn't seem to be working. It seems like we need to house them first and then work on those other things. That's what they do. Hey, y'all progressives, y'all love progressive shit? Yeah, that's what they do in Scandinavia. Well, Finland does. Seems to be working great there. Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. Now, Denmark kind of latches over onto all our islands, kind of like wind up over there in southern Sweden, Norway. But the base of it still just kind of like a peninsula coming off the top of Germany. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think because culturally, the Danes probably more identify with the Norwegian and the Sweden and the Finnish than they do the Germans. The Germans are a little bit more conservative. Even nowadays, they're still one of the more conservative. Well, at least economically speaking, they're more conservative. Yeah, he knew that a long time ago. Yeah, try that in a small town. Yeah, remember Emmett Till? There's a story about that guy. Well, hey, it's just a kid from Chicago. Yeah, if you don't know who Emmett Till is, you should probably look that up. It's pretty gruesome. Yeah, he's from Chicago. Yeah, nobody told him, try that in a small town. The thing is he may not have necessarily meant that racist. He just saying, hey, maybe, having more of a tight-knit community will at least minimize, how bad people can get. But, well, that's just it. The problem is with those folks is that we have forgotten about a lot of them. We've done no real legislation to help them in the way that they feel that would help them. And I think that's why that the left have lost them, is they see us putting all of our efforts into these more, cities are going to be more liberal. That's just a fact of life. But now they're seeing, things get out of hand to the point where they're throwing money at people in San Francisco and LA and all these, there's so many, so much money being paid out, and it's just getting worse. And meanwhile, they're sitting there like, we don't get shit. It's like, Trey Crowder was saying, yeah, they tried to put up, a single red light in our town, talking about try carjacking a grandma at a red light in a small town. So what small town? Wait, what are you talking about? Small towns ain't got a red light. Hell, they were talking about, they put one up in the town I was from. Yeah, it took them about one or 2 days for somebody to shoot that fucking thing out. That was the last time we had a fucking red light. It's like, it's strange. It really is. I don't mean to pick on the man. See, that's another thing is I don't think that's really helping. You know, y'all hate, hey, these progressive, hey, they hate when I pick on them. Think about when y'all do it to them. Think about how they feel. I'm not saying, you know, the way they feel about it is necessarily healthy. But, we have kind of forgotten about them. We don't put no investment in the poor, in the small towns where poor people live. But you know what that's reminiscent of? Bolsheviks. And the very beginning of the Russian Communist Party. Because remember, what they did was any farmers who didn't immediately agree to collectivization were sent to the gulags, imprisoned, or murdered. And then the ones that did agree to the collectivization, they pretty much just kind of robbed them of everything they had to bring it to the cities because they put all their eggs into the baskets of the city. They say, you think it was bad for people who live in Moscow. You don't want to know how bad it was for small Russian village farmers during the Soviet era. There were repeatedly that was the people who did the best in Russia back in the day under, the Tsarist, regime. And then when the Bolsheviks took over, they flipped it around. And it became where they put all the effort into, collectivization and modernization and industrialization. Well, that was especially Stalin's thing. He had a 5-year plan, yeah, which was like, well, if we murder enough people, by working them to death, before they die, we'll get enough out of them that we'll then build up our infrastructure, we'll build up everything. And, well, it wasn't right. But that's the thing is you got to remember, they shit all over the people that were out there working the farms who had built their life and earned their keep for themselves. And they just robbed it from them to put it into the cities and then it never really paid off for anyone. That's why it failed. Because you can't change human nature. What you can do is say, look, we're sorry you feel that way. Maybe we should try to fix things. Or maybe we should try to work on improving them. Because that's just it. We've kind of, we rely on them for our food, and we rely on them for a lot of things that we need. We need people living in small towns. We do. But we also need to remember that when we're investing in things, we need to invest some in them too. Even if we don't like them. Even if we don't agree with them. Even if they can be shitty sometimes. Well, we're a society. We're a union. We need to start treating them like they're members of our union. And maybe they'll start getting, upset with us. I'm not saying we're all at fault. I'm not saying they're all at fault. Collectively, we've all fucked up. And I think that sometimes you change your strategy. Now, I don't believe that, well, screw this, we're going to let Trump will go to prison here soon. Number one. Number two, okay, I'm going to get into that. Biden is doing a good job. And I think if you gave him enough time, he would probably help improve a lot of the backwoods people who live in small towns, people who live, in rural places that, are the backbone of our agriculture. And you also got to think, we've exploited them for our water resources. And then that's what they see on TV. Now, I'm not saying that people don't project something that's worse than it is. They've been doing that for 10 years. I went to San Francisco in 2017. I got off at the Greyhound station. I walked all the way down. I walked past that tower, that one that's supposed to be designed to, the one they built a long time ago. It looks like a fucking pyramid, but a really narrow pyramid, really tall, but really narrow pyramid looking thing at downtown. I walked right by that. It was cool. And I walked down to Fisherman's Wharf, all the way down into there. I walked through the Fillmore district. Here's the thing. It did not look nearly as fucking, now this is in 2017, nearly as bad as it does that I've seen on TV now, but I'm realizing, some parts are especially bad. And then some parts aren't as bad. But it's kind of like here, sometimes you go to certain little spots in Burlington, it's kind of like, okay, this one little This one little corner right here looks a little rough. But it's not as bad as what I see in the news here. I've seen places that are worse than they projected, and I've seen a lot of places where they kind of pick San Francisco and L.A. because those, well, in Portland and Seattle, because these are the more liberal places, you know, where they believe in subsidizing. Well, they don't really subsidize the poor. They subsidize people who work for organizations that provide services to the poor. Whether that works effectively or correctly or not. Some people go real slow over that speed bump. That thing does look kind of sharp. You know, it's one of them hard plastic ones. Yeah, those things fucking suck. Thank God I ain't got a car no more. I mean, it's a hassle. It's a convenience, but it's a hassle at the same time. But yeah, I can't relate to the song. I can't really relate to country. Any country that's been made in the last 20, 25 years. I've felt a lot of shit about it. You know, probably the reason why they don't, you know, I might be partly to blame for why some people just don't like fucking, you know, liberal people. I have done a really good job of roasting them over the years. But the thing is they're people too. I mean, I know that, you know, it seems like a dog whistle for, you know, anarchy. But, yeah, I think instead of telling them constantly that, you know, the way they feel is wrong, we should try to find a way to relate to the way they feel. I don't know if I did or not. If I said something that offended, you know, ignorant Southern rednecks, well, I hope you could forgive me. And if I said something that offended, you know, progressives, you know, in Burlington, I know y'all ain't gonna forgive me. I've been trying to win y'all over for years with sarcasm and humor, and that just seems to make y'all even more upset, so.
Well, I'm coming out of ain't got no time to.
See, I would go back home. I actually thought about that. I thought about going down there, maybe going somewhere close to where my cousin is. He's a great guy. I really miss him. We used to have a lot of fun when we were kids. A lot of my fun, you know, like family-like memories were usually me tagging along with him and his dad and sometimes June. And, yeah, it'd be nice to be somewhere where I feel like, you know, somebody would accept me. I know he would, at least as I am. I ain't really changed. But I worry about the fact that, because when you see songs like Jason Aldean, people may take that, you know, in the wrong way. I don't know if I'm taking it the wrong way or I'm taking it the right way. Does it look like a dog whistle for anarchic, you know, racism and anti-this? Or is it a wake-up call that, you know, maybe we need to be careful not to let that happen to us too? I don't know. I'm not going to assume nothing, because whenever I assume something, I usually am wrong. Like when I say, when you assume, make an ass out of you and me. I don't know, something people in the South used to say. I don't know if they say it everywhere. Got a little Lightning Hopkins.
The first ever Mazda CX-90.
See, I would think that poor so white folks could relate to this, because it's, I mean, even Trey Crowder, he talks about how much of a struggle it is regardless. I mean, I know it's probably even worse for people of color, but it's kind of just bad for anyone that's poor. You know, it really just is. Well, maybe I won't. Hold on. I don't know why this thing. If anybody knows how, if there's a shot, I don't know what to do, but this thing's driving me fucking crazy. On some videos, it'll show I got like 50-something thousand kilobytes per second. And then some it'll just say I got like 300 kilobytes. It's like, so I got a third of a megabyte per second, or I've got 50 megabytes per second. It just don't make no fucking sense. I don't know. It's never done that before. I'm not technologically smart enough to really understand exactly. You'd be surprised what I could figure out without nobody else's help, but I don't know. It don't make no sense that some shit would just completely freeze up and some shit won't, unless there's some damage to it. But the thing is, it doesn't do it on the other apps. It only does that on the fucking YouTube app. I don't know why. So, we'll do one of my old favorites. We'll go out with a we'll go out with a I had to click on it and go back and click on it. I don't want to go back again. Hold on. Maybe the third time we'll do it. Motherfucker, come on. See, that's the thing. I've tried to mirror myself in a way of being just like the progressives around here. I've tried to be just like they are, back to themselves, with just very slight changes. And they're complete. Oh my God, did they just fucking come unglued? And it's like, okay, I do that to you. I don't even completely disagree with you. I just think that you. Well, they hate because I'm usually right too, or I'm usually correct. I always think of something you didn't because I'm objective. I'm not out to prove my opinion be right. I don't want an opinion. It's like, what do you think? It's like, well, I don't think shit. Either I have information and data or I don't. Now, I want to blame my fucked up TV on somebody else. God, that would be fucking easy too. Probably get away with it if I wanted to. But I like to be objective, and it could be my own fuck up. I may have bought a piece of shit. This train is a clean train. This train. I bet there's a lot of southern white folks who even they think they're a little racist will probably love this song. Miss Rosetta Tharpe. This train. Who is a woman of color who was a big star back in the 40s and 50s, 60s, early 60s, starting in like the 40s. I think late 30s, early 40s, going all the way into the 60s. This train. I'm not even religious. I kind of think it needs to be like our theme song for our society. And I'm sorry, black folks, if I'm co-opting your shit to virtue signal. I know it's wrong, but we gotta stop doing that. This train.
Don't pull no lies, no false pretenders, and no backbiter because this train
It's a clean train. This train. I mean, it's unrealistic, but it would be nice. Think of, you're supposed to try. That's the thing, I'm not going to diss about religion or Jesus Christ, is the fact that you're supposed to try to do good. Now, getting all down in semantic arguments about what the Bible says, not wise. Especially against me, because I will Little Sheldon your ass all fucking day long. You see how Little Sheldon wears out that preacher on TV? Yeah, this is the real life version of that. The only thing I know about Jesus is I had to go to church with my cousin because his mom would make us go. My uncle never had to go. He was that smart enough to find a way out of that shit. There wasn't no me and him getting out of it though. Yes, it was not fun, enjoyable. I mean, it wasn't traumatizing necessarily. It was annoying at times. There is some positive things you can learn from it. I'm not saying to take it as a fucking reference source for everything in the world. What's good in it you can take out of it though. This train. Now, the only reason why I have ever ruined someone's faith in God is because they challenged me to a debate. I probably shouldn't take. I know I got an unfair advantage. I know I got a huge unfair advantage. Some people need that. They keep some people from doing heinous shit. That's why it's kind of like, yeah, it's still a harm. It's done something good though. I'm still gonna be. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm atheist. I'm gonna say that I believe in quantum mechanics. And if you understand what I mean by that, there's some hidden layers in there. I believe in quantum mechanics. I believe in particle physics. This train. Well, I don't know. Maybe I touched on some things the right way. Maybe I instead of pushing people further apart, pressure my own choir, maybe I could help bring some folks together. Maybe we can stop being so racist, and maybe we can stop being so, I don't know, homophobic, transphobic. I mean, if we stop doing that, we quit having all these semantic arguments about shit. And dear trans people, if I've called you a tranny, I'm sorry. Apparently y'all don't like, here's the thing though, I say it to them personally. They usually are okay. I don't know. They usually think I'm cute. It's kind of fun to flirt with trannies. It makes their day. Look at how bad other people have been to them. They're just people too. If you're nice to them and they're nice back, well, guess what? It was worth it. I think that's for everybody. I've always gotten away with saying the things that you're not supposed to say because I say it a certain way. Like I call a little person a midget, and they'll probably just fine with it. Besides, I'll say, "You sure do you like that?" I mean, if that's what you want, okay. But I ain't gonna just because some tall person told me I don't like that. I ain't yet heard midgets say they want to be called little people. If they say they want to be called, okay, I'm sorry. And then some of them might be like, but that's the thing. I've always been able to say the thing that's bordering on offensive, but yet it always gets a laugh from them when I do it. That's always been my superpower. And that's what I don't like is that here, I never seem to get to use that. Oh well. This train is bound for glory. So howdy, mom, and them for me. Love y'all, bye.